tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
And look at that. Facebook is kicking butt, man. They will do a lot of sharing there real quick. Whew. Man, every day just gets better. Every day. All right. Oh, we're waiting. Let's talk about ADHD. And I was talking with my therapist. This was probably 4 or 5 months back. And she said, do you think maybe you have ADHD? And I told her, no. Well, you might want to look at some of these things. I still don't think I have ADHD. Okay. I just think that there's a lot of people out there that can be hyper vigilant. Right. And, when I was calling around looking for assessments for ADHD, the only question they ever asked me is if I wanted meds or not. I'm like, no, I want an assessment. Oh, we don't do assessments. Oh, but you're willing to give me drugs? You're willing to give me drugs for ADHD without an assessment? Just think on it. Think on it. All right. We're going to get started at the 3-minute mark. We'll be talking about sponsorship. Sponsorship. Yay! It's like Amber and I have just been crossing like all week. Hey, hi. It's been kind of weird. The tie-dye queen is here. I know, and mine hasn't been washed. I'm ready to wear it again. I'm getting a little upset. Okay. Welcome to Daily Trudge. It's not clean because I haven't done the laundry. My job is laundry this week because Shannon has been busy with our client, but our client passed at 4:30 this morning. So you are the tie-dye queen. Tie-dye queen, if you're here, please say hello. Scott says, plan your life better. Fuck it. Me? It should be safe to share this video. Should be. We'll see what happens. So sponsorship. So when AA began, we were a secret society. Right? I'm going to let you know if you misspell something, I don't care. You don't need to correct yourself. That's one thing that before I get to sponsorship, this is kind of important. If I hear somebody make a mistake or see them make a mistake, but I knew what they said, I don't correct them anymore. I quit doing that. What the fuck do they need it for? It interferes with the flow of the conversation. They're trying to say something. And when you're talking and somebody interrupts you, it can take up to 20 minutes to get back to the same place that you were. All right. So sponsorship, because AA was a secret society in the very beginning, the only way that you really got into AA was sponsorship. You were sponsored, just like a golf club or something, like very exclusive clubs, because AA at that point was exclusive. It was exclusive to low bottom drunks only. And that's where sponsorship actually comes from. In the big book, a sponsor is called a closed mouth friend. Hi, Amber. I mean, Ingrid. It's usually us three anyways, right? So, yeah. So that's where sponsorship originated from. Okay. So sponsorship, we all know why it's important. We do. But let's explain it anyway, right? Because maybe some people don't know. And it can be very hard to ask questions, silly questions, right? In AA because of fear. Well, maybe I should know that. No. Okay. If you have any questions, there are 3 people right here who will be happy to answer them no matter what the question is. I would, Amber would, Ingrid would, any of us would help you with that. Okay. Because the 3 of us, we all have the same intentions. And our intentions is to become a better person each day. And each day we find a person that we can help so that we have success in our lives. Pretty cool. When one person does that, it's phenomenal. When 3 people do it, it's a wave. See, by myself, it's just a ripple. 3 people, it becomes a wave. Pretty cool, right? And that goes with sponsorship. One alcoholic working with another has so much potential and power behind it. For ages, alcoholics were considered mental health problems. And they would cure alcoholism the same way they would a lot of other things. And that was a frontal lobotomy. Aren't you happy for AA now? You should be, because now you're not going to get a pike up your nose. That's how we used to be treated. Well, gratitude, huh? So when God came along and gave Bill the answer, God, happy days, man. Happy days, woohoo! Because that one little instance, how did it start? Sponsorship. Ebby was Bill's sponsor. Okay. In the beginning, at least, I don't know what happened after that. It doesn't say. So, but so it all started with sponsorship. And what is sponsorship? It is just one alcoholic helping another alcoholic. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. What is a sponsor not? Sponsor is not a bank. Sponsor is not a therapist. Sponsor is not a doctor. Neither are they a lawyer. They may act like it. And if your sponsor acts that way, you need a new sponsor. Period. Okay. So anybody, isn't that what it's about? I mean, if you look at the great philosophers, what did they want to do towards the end? They wanted to give that information away. They wanted to give it, okay? Because they said, hey, I found this answer and it's working real well for me. Maybe you should try it too. Hey, I've been battling this disease for 20 years and I just can't seem to find an answer. I've tried everything. Well, guess what? We got an answer for you. We got an answer. Now, your sponsors are going to vary. Some sponsors will take you through the book and bam, bam, bam. And some people need that. We're all different. Okay. And this is why it's important that we pick our sponsees. I'm going to know. I'm going to know whether I'm going to be effective with that person or not, because I can be rigorously honest with myself. Okay. Now, if I have a guy that's a little bit more shy, I'm too pokey. Okay. Probably not going to be the best match for me. Does this mean I'm not going to help? Fuck no. I'm going to go over there, probably be a temporary sponsor, say, hey, you need some help. I don't know that I'm the best fit, but at least you'll have somebody to call and somebody in your corner, right? And then who knows? Maybe it'll turn into something else. I don't know. I just need to provide that action. Sponsorship and being a sponsor is about action. It's about action. Did I say that it was about action? Because it is, motherfuckers. Well, action is finding sponsees. It's always been that way. What would have happened if Bill's like, oh, I would love to give this away, so I'm going to sit at my house and I'm going to wait for somebody to come along and ask me to do that for them? What do you think would have happened? Okay. We all say, oh, I'm going to be, people want to be the next Bill or whatever. It's just like being the president. We dream. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But we're not. Okay. Period. We're not, none of us are Bill. Bill is a different person. Your recovery is going to look different. But the path is the same. We take the path together. Okay. I didn't do all that work to sit on my butt. You too, honey. Thank you for joining in for as long as you could. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you at the 3 o'clock. If not, we'll see you tomorrow, and I love you. And I'm not going to say that there's great ways to sponsors and bad ways to sponsor and things like that, but a sponsor is just a support. Okay. As a sponsor, I never, ever, ever give advice, ever. I don't. And I also don't tell my sponsees what to do. It confuses the fuck out of them. Well, this guy's sponsored. They're giving them homework and all this other stuff. And no, the first 3 steps require no action. And I'm not going to give you any. The rest of it is therapy stuff that's been thrown in. I'm not saying it doesn't work. But I follow the book because I know that it works. Okay? And what happened is I went through with my sponsor, and it's all marked up. It's highlighted all this, right? That's my main book. That's my sponsoring book, because it has all the stuff that I need in it to remind me of what to tell my sponsee while we're going through the book. Then I have them mark it up the same way mine's marked up so that they can do the same thing. The same thing. Because rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. There's a reason it's the first line there in the 5th chapter. The very first word in the big book is we. The first word of our steps, we. Because it's a we program. Okay. What if you don't get a sponsor? One of 2 things is going to happen. You're either going to stay sober and be miserable, or you're going to go out and drink. Those are the options. Because you might be able to understand what they're saying in the book, but that doesn't mean you're going to get it. Okay? They're just words in the book. Until somebody describes what the true nature of the malady is, right? Remember when you went through your 4th and 5th step and you're like, oh, fuck, this was more than I thought. More than I thought. Right? So those things probably tend to be more than than we think, because we're just grabbing that surface shit, right? How you doing today? Well, I'm doing okay. We all know that's not true. I'm doing really well. That's probably true. I'm all right. You sure what's going on? See? It's always just a little bit more, isn't it? And if you take that one or two extra steps in that, just those tiny little steps, then what you're trying to accomplish will become much more clear because you're being thorough about it. Okay. And that's still all very, very simple. Very simple. So you need a sponsor, especially in the beginning. Are you always going to have a sponsor? I don't know. I haven't had a sponsor in 3 or 4 years now. What I have is accountability buddies. I looked for a sponsor. It failed because it's the wrong way. What I need to do is go to some meetings with some people with more time than me and put in the chat, I'm 7 years sober and I'm looking for a sponsor. And then let them decide. See? Mm-hmm. Well, what if they're not open? I'm going to tell you something. You know what? I'm full. I'm full, but I'd love to help you. That's what. No, I'm full. You're gonna have to ask somebody else. You're not gonna want that person for a sponsor anyway. I'll tell you why. Because they didn't take the extra step. What's the extra step? You know what? I'm full right now, but I know that this person probably be a good match for you, and I think they're open. Let's find out. Is it really that hard? I think that's pretty straightforward stuff. I really do. And that all goes to recovery equity, man. It does. So, well, you'll probably find that that Travis, because I know he'll probably end up being good friends with you, but yeah, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need another sponsor just for a different purview, that kind of thing. So, all right. So I know you guys are busy, and Amber's here because she loves to help, and I appreciate that. But I know you guys got things to do, and I got to go find a whiteboard because there's so many freaking podcasts going on now. I need to start writing them down. So Amber, I'm going to use that line, okay? But instead of using it just for me, it's going to be a name of a new podcast, right? So, it'll be called the Robin Hoods of Recovery, because it's not just me. And what we're going to do is we're going to be exposing the people that come along and take and mess with our desperate people, because those people are easy to manipulate. Okay. We're done with that stuff. Okay. And I'm putting Colorado on notice. It includes the detoxes, everybody else. We're taking back our power. We're taking it back. It's ours now. You know. I think Todd's closer to your age than mine. All right. I gotta get going, or we're all gonna be sitting here comparing ages. I love you all. Thanks for being here. Peace out and have a